In our morning rounds, a new national report offers a roadmap for targeting cancer more precisely. It includes key findings about the type of people who face greater risk from breast cancer. Our Dr. David Agus leads the Westside Cancer Center at the University of Southern California. He is in Los Angeles. David, good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
So tell us what we learned from this new report.
Well, every year the government puts out a report of what is the incidence and death rate of each cancer, and it's divided by body part, which is a remnant of the 1800s. Breast, prostate, lung, etc. Well, this year, for the first time, they took one of the body parts, breast cancer, and they divided it into four based on the signaling pathway, the on switch. And that's a big advance, believe it or not, in cancer, in how we classify it. Because all of a sudden, we know different treatments and different ways of strategizing it. Imagine, in our country, if we said, what is the apple harvest every year? We can know one piece of data, but all of a sudden, if we say, what's the Granny Smith? What's the Red Delicious? We're going to know a lot more, and being able to predict based on the weather and what's going on, each of the apples' growth. Well, the hope is now we can do that in breast cancer.
So what are the different types and how are they different? How do you compare the cancer to the apples?
Well, there are two dominant pathways. One is called hormone receptor, estrogen and progesterone receptor, and the other is called HER2. So they could either be both on, one on of each one, or none on, the so-called triple negative. So it gives us four different buckets, each of which has different treatments and each of which has different strategies to prevent.
I think one of the most alarming things from this report that we learned is that Black women have nearly twice the rate of the deadliest form of breast cancer. Why is that?
Well, the deadliest form is called triple negative because it doesn't have one of those on switches that we can use one of these new molecularly targeted therapies against. And classically, in African-American women, they're more obese, and so that kind of cancer goes with the increased obesity. And they have less screening. They don't do as much mammography in others, so it's a more aggressive cancer. So the hope is with this kind of fine-grained data, we can start to educate people more. Most women, when they have breast cancer, don't know the subtype they have. And that subtype dictates what treatment, what preventive strategies for it coming back, etc. So if we can educate more based on the subtype, the hope is we can make an increased dent against this horrible disease.
David, there was a 6 Minutes report this weekend about how poliovirus was used to combat brain cancer at Duke University. That seems like a remarkable result to me.
Oh, it really is. And I've been following this for over a decade now. But it's the notion of taking this virus that then goes into a cell and kills some of the brain cancer cells and then turns on the immune system to attack it. So in this deadly disease where you talk life expectancy in weeks, there are people now living out 30+ months. And so it certainly didn't work for everybody, but it's an exciting new treatment of harnessing the immune system.
I know it's a story that people really need to know about. Thank you, Dr. David Agus. It was an amazing report. Thank you.